Battle through the firmament. Grand world. C-302 Heavenly Seal. Qi. On the main platform, Zhu Kun's body was like a bolt of lightning as he rushed towards Jiang He, resembling a purple lightning bolt. Although he had suffered an extremely serious injury earlier, his aura was still imposing at this moment. The origin monic qi flowed like a continuous river as it surged wildly. Jiang He, stunned by Zhu Kun's sudden eruption of strength, immediately reacted. Although his eyes were filled with shock, his movements were not slow. He kept the red paper talisman with a backhand grip. An aura even slightly stronger than Zhu Kun's suddenly erupted. He charged forward without fear, and wherever he passed, numerous cracks appeared on the ground. Boom! Under hundreds of gazes, the two collided fiercely. Then, they both retreated, leaving shallow footprints on the arena. Zhu Kun's injuries are still too severe. Guyuan knitted his brows. The attack just now had clearly dealt a great deal of damage to Zhu Kun. In the direct confrontation with Jiang He, Zhu Kun gained no advantage. Xiaoyan nodded silently, his eyes fixed on the main platform. Both fighters unleashed their techniques and rushed forward with a whistling sound. Heaven Fighting Seal. After dodging Zhu Kun's fierce attack, Jiang He revealed a cold smile. His feet moved quickly, and like a phantom, he suddenly closed his hands in front of his chest. In the next moment, an origin monic key that could cause one's expression to change drastically rose from his hands. In the blink of an eye, a dazzling seal slowly formed. The seal was about the size of a palm, but the power within it was extremely potent. Seeing this, Zhu Kun's expression became grave as he stopped. His eyes stared at the seal in Jiang He's hand, his face dark as water, thinking of a way to counter it. This is Wu Shaoqi's ultimate skill. Its power is comparable to the monic arts. I never thought Wu Shaoqi would give this to Jiang He, but it seems it only has the power of a high-grade monic spell. On the stage, Elder Wu raised his eyebrows and looked at Wu Shaoqi, who was smiling. Stroking his beard, he shook his head. When Lu Xiangyang saw Jiang He use this move, he couldn't help but glance at Wu Shaoqi, who was not far away. He knew this Heaven Fighting Seal well. Wu Shaoqi had once defeated him with it. He never thought she would teach it to Jiang He. Wu Shaoqi ignored Lu Xiangyang's gaze. Watching the Heaven Fighting Seal unleashed by Jiang He, a trace of contemplation appeared in her bright eyes. Back in the illusory spirit realm, she had pushed the Heaven Fighting Seal to its limits. Yet, every time she used it, she felt something indescribable. She had passed it to Jiang He, perhaps intentionally, hoping to see the technique from another's perspective to gain new insight. Try this. Feeling the Heaven Fighting Seal's power, wild joy surged across Jiang He's face. Although he had used it before, this was his first time in battle, and it was far stronger than his usual techniques. Qi. Jiang He suddenly thrust both hands forward. The golden seal trembled violently before shooting out explosively, as though enveloping the space itself. It smashed towards Zhu Kun with unstoppable force. The instant the Heaven Fighting Seal was unleashed, Jiang He's face paled. This attack had completely drained the origin monic key from his body. Sensing the Heaven Fighting Seal's power, Guyuan broke into a cold sweat. This attack was terrifying. Even an ordinary seal from it carried immense might. Xiaoyan's expression grew solemn. His fists clenched tightly within his sleeves. Wu Shaoqi's eyes shone with a bright light, as if she were experiencing something profound. Zhu Kun suddenly widened his eyes and roared. His fists, like dragons, struck out, pouring all his origin monic key into them. Under the forceful wind from his strikes, his fist surfaces cracked, purple blood gushing out. Boom! In the blink of an eye, Zhu Kun's fists collided with the seal. A deafening explosion erupted, fragments scattering. Zhu Kun's body was hurled backward, clothes in tatters, blood flowing like a fountain, his appearance utterly miserable. Jiang He, struck by the explosion's aftermath, coughed blood. His weakened body fell to the ground, eyes bloodshot as he stared at Zhu Kun at the arena's edge. Bastard. Kai Lin ground her teeth, her pretty face cold. Xiaoyan grabbed her hands and shook his head. Kai Lin gritted her teeth, lowered her head, and said no more. Heaven fighting seal. In the distance, Mu Yiyu stood quietly beneath an ancient willow tree, purple light flowing in her eyes as she lightly laughed. What is Wu Shaoqi thinking? With that fellow's strength, he can't show its full power and will only be harmed. As she spoke, Mu Yiyu turned her gaze. A young man in white emerged behind her, smiling warmly at her. You're willing to come out? Mu Yiyu smiled, her white teeth like stars. Mu Yuyang fondly touched her hair and said softly, it's a good chance to see you. She pouted, though her eyes shone with joy. I think you're here to see the Saint rank trial participant. No. Standing beside her, Mu Yuyang looked at the stage. He's not yet worthy of my full attention. But I hear he has a special constitution. I'm curious. Special constitution. Mu Yiyu's brows furrowed. Mu Yuyang smiled, his sharp gaze sweeping toward the grandstand where Yuan Tianmu and Zhan Kai sat. He shook his head slightly at Zhan Kai. Yes, it's a sacred soul fire body. Xiaoao has been watching it for a long time. This feeling. Wu Shaoqi's intelligent eyes were filled with deep thought. The earlier scene replayed in her mind. Though she didn't fully understand, it seemed to touch something deep within her, urging her to comprehend the heaven fighting seal more deeply. On the platform, under countless nervous gazes, Zhu Kun struggled to rise. Beneath his bloodied, cracked skin, faint purple dragon scales could be seen. Zhu Kun's red eyes locked on Zhuang He. The latter, seeing him still standing after taking the heaven fighting seal head-on, was horrified. I admit defeat. Zhuang He shivered under the deathly key in Zhu Kun's gaze and shouted his surrender. At his words, Zhu Kun stopped, forcing a faint smile before collapsing. The moment he fell, Wu Shaoqi shivered. The confusion in her eyes cleared, as if she had realized something. That Wu Shaoqi is truly talented. Even in this situation, she's gained new insight. Mu Yuyang, without glancing at the battle, smiled gently at Wu Shaoqi. It's rare for you to praise someone, Mu Yiyu teased with a smile, also looking at Wu Shaoqi. This batch of students has a few good seedlings. Wu Shaoqi, the sacred spirit fire body, and the Saint rank trial participant. Next year's competition will be interesting. Mu Yuyang smiled, patting Mu Yiyu's head before leaving. His figure faded away, unnoticed by all. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.